Cleveland's live 24-hour news source continues. Brought to you by Ohio Edison.
A 13-year-old girl missing for almost a week was reunited with her family tonight.
And News Channel 5 helps make that reunion happen. Good evening, everyone. Nakima Morris disappeared Monday on her way home from school, and her parents have been at wits' end ever since.
Tonight, Nakima phoned home, and her father went to get her. Roosevelt Lefwich was at the house when the call came through. He joins us now live from the 24-hour newsroom with their story. Roosevelt?
Well, Ted, the Morrises have done everything they could to try to find their daughter. They walked the streets and showed her picture to strangers, hoping to find any clue. They also spent hours waiting for the phone to ring with any information about their daughter, Nakima Morris. And shortly after 6 tonight, their prayers were answered. The Morrises haven't slept in days, filled with concern about the whereabouts of their missing 13-year-old daughter, Nakima. They were about to do an interview with News Channel 5 when the phone rang. It was Nakima, and she wanted to come home.
Nakima!
Thanks, man.
Oh, how come you didn't call me, sweetheart? You could have called me on my job.
I can't because...
God, I'm glad you're...
After talking things over, Nakima and her father, Daryl, went home to the waiting arms of Sherry Morris, her mother, and the rest of the family.
Thank you, Jesus, Lord, thank you. Oh, God, thank you. Oh, baby, where you been? I've been worried. I call everybody.
Nakima and her mom had a falling out, and the girl went and hid out over a family friend's home just 10 blocks away. The family says they can talk this out. All they're concerned about now is that Nakima's home and she's safe.
After she's seen herself on TV, and after she's seen how concerned we was, the only person that she wanted to talk to was me. But otherwise she's okay. She's just scared to death right now. Otherwise, right, she's okay, but she's just scared.
Some powerful pictures, Ted, that tell the whole story better than any words can. But above all, Nakima is safe, and the family's 4-day ordeal is over.
And Roosevelt, I take it the family was at least beginning to accept the fact that this might have been a kidnapping until this unfolded the way it did tonight.
A kidnapping, or the fact that she may have just run off or something like that. But the thing is that they never gave up that shred of hope that she would come home, and she did.
And it paid off very, very well tonight. Thanks, Roosevelt.
Tonight, however, still no sign of a college student from Olmsted Falls who disappeared from an Indiana college Monday night. Tricia Reitler was last seen at a drugstore in Marion, Indiana, near the campus of Indiana Wesleyan, where she goes to school. Police dogs have found the clothes she was wearing, but nothing else. And officers say the outlook appears grim.
Foul play has not been confirmed. We're just treating it as such, and those are our suspicions at this time, and that's all we have to go on. And so we want to treat it as if that may be the case.
The search for the 19-year-old resumes in the morning. A breaking story tonight from Brimfield Township in Portage County. That's where a hostage standoff has gone on all night long at a BP station at Route 76 and 43. Ted Hart was there, and he joins us now from our Akron Bureau with more on it. Ted, is the standoff over at this point?
It is over at this point, Wilma, but officials tell us this thing started about 6:30 this evening, as you said, at a gas station, a BP gas station at Interstate 76 and Route 43 in Portage County. Officials say that some kind of domestic dispute triggered it. For nearly 4 hours this evening, a man held a woman hostage at knife point inside the gas station. Witnesses say when the car pulled into the station, the woman jumped out and quickly locked herself in the bathroom. The man then used the back end of the car to ram the bathroom door down. He then grabbed the woman and took her inside the station with a knife to her throat and forced everyone else out of the building. She locked herself in the...
Yeah, she got out of the car and she locked herself up in the bathroom. And we thought, you know, he come in there and said she was on drugs, and we started hearing this banging noise, and we thought she was just in there throwing stuff around. Here he was banging the car against the side of the building there.
Now, police negotiators finally convinced the man to let the woman go free. Officials say she was not seriously hurt, but she was cut. Police took the man into custody. They say they found notes in his car that indicated that he had planned to commit suicide. So they were just happy that this thing ended peacefully.
He's being transported over to Robinson Memorial Hospital for evaluation, as well as the young lady. She was cut early in the incident, and she's got some minor wounds and probably some major emotional problems right now that need to be dealt with.
Now, police say the knife was a 12-inch military-style machete. Wilma, they say that this gentleman will be charged after investigators get a chance to review this case with the prosecutor's office.
Ted, he had no other record, no other history of doing anything like this?
That I don't know. However, negotiators did tell us after the fact that this gentleman had some emotional problems, apparently considered himself a loser, and the way they talked him out was to convince him that if this thing ended peacefully, he'd be a winner.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ted Hart reporting for us live from our Acton Bureau. Thank you.
They may have said they never really wanted to do it, but nonetheless, 2 schoolgirls in Lorain have now been convicted of plotting to kill their teacher. The 12 and 13-year-olds were arrested in Irving Middle School back in January, you might recall, and police officers say they found this knife in one of their book bags. Officers also say students at Irving were placing bets on whether the girls would carry out the killing. Judge Joseph Ziba, who convicted the duo today, says he hopes this is not the shape of things to come.
It's something that we have to all be concerned with as a society. You know, 12 and 13-year-old youngsters being charged with murder or attempted or conspiracies of this nature within the school systems.
And now what? The girls could end up in a detention facility until they're 21 years of age. The girls will probably be sentenced in about a month or so, we're told. A murder-suicide tonight over in Bedford. It happened just a short time ago in Overlook Park. We're told it involved a husband and wife married for 14 years but recently separated. Police say the husband shot the wife, then shot himself. Their names have not yet been released. The couple has a child, but the youngster was not at home at the time.
Some excitement tonight at a drug house board-up in East Cleveland. Now, what you heard there was a concussion grenade fired by police to frighten people inside into giving up. Instead, the grenade caught fire on a couch. After the fire was out, the board-up proceeded. 8 suspects were arrested, 2 of them juveniles. It is the 91st home to be closed by the Attorney General's Operation Crackdown program.
Sounds like a lot of money to me, but when is $1 billion not enough? You're going to find out as the news continues.
And we'll find out how the president is handling an age-old argument, jobs versus the environment. Stay with us.
You know, it seems that if you start a discussion about how and where to dispose of radioactive waste, you're likely to start some sort of a protest.
And that's exactly what happened in Cleveland tonight. On Public Square this evening, environmental activists rallied to protest plans for a low-level radioactive waste dump here in Ohio. The dump is to serve as a regional site serving 6 Midwestern states. Meanwhile, at Cleveland State University, a Blue Ribbon panel heard public comment on that proposal. Proponents say the radioactive waste has to go somewhere.
We generate a significant amount of low-level waste every year, and right now we can send it to South Carolina. That's the only place left in the country that will accept waste. And if we falter and don't move forward with our siting plans here in Ohio, they will cut us off, and then we'll have to store on site.
The idea that we have one centralized dump is just a misnomer, because every single highway and every single railroad in the state will also become radioactive and will also become de facto nuclear dumps.
In Ohio, there are 57 businesses, hospitals, research facilities, and power plants that generate low-level radioactive waste. More than half of those are here in Northeast Ohio.
And Wilma, the environmental debate in the far west is a simple one: jobs versus nature, right? President Clinton was in Oregon for a nature conference today, balancing the rights of loggers there against those of people who say logging is simply destroying natural habitats. Some nature lovers say Clinton is now going back on a campaign promise to protect the environment, but he says it's not that simple.
The process we begin today will not be easy. Its outcome cannot possibly make everyone happy. Perhaps it won't make anyone completely happy. But the worst thing we can do is nothing.
The conference wrapped up earlier this evening, and now both sides have to wait and see what happens between the president and Congress on this one. Tomorrow, Mr. Clinton, of course, meets in Canada with Russian President Boris Yeltsin. And Yeltsin is going to tell the President of the United States that
Take the time to care from TV 8.
kindergarten.